Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, KCC.
Welcome to Campus TV. Let's take a look at the PowerPoint.
So today, what we will be talking about, what Miss Hill and I will be talking about, are our Easter holiday.
We will also give you some information about upcoming activities and some exam tips as well.
So first, talking about my holiday, as we all know, we had the Easter holidays just last month, starting from, if I remember correctly, the 19th until about the 28th. Now, for me, I really placed an importance during Easter because of my religious beliefs. Now, I wanted to spend time with my family, and so what we did is travel together. I went with my mom, my sister, and my mom's cousin, so that's technically my auntie. Our destination for this year's Easter holiday was Vietnam. So, this is one of the famous attractions in Ho Chi Minh City. This is called Notre Dame Cathedral. In English, that means Our Lady. The word Notre Dame are actually French words. So this photo was taken on Easter Sunday, right before we took the Easter Sunday Mass service. My sister and I, we love each other so much that that day we decided to wear matching dresses. And so we kind of looked like twins. We wore white to symbolize the event of the day. And this photo was taken right next to Notre Dame, actually. This is the post office.
So, Miss Celine,
Yeah.
since you go to church,
Yeah.
do most people go to church on Easter Sunday?
Yes, they do, because they believe that on that day, we believe that on that day, Jesus rose from the dead. And so we celebrate it because he's here for us. This photo was taken right outside the War Remnants Museum in Vietnam. So that museum is kind of like a history museum talking about the war that happened between Vietnam, the US, as well as France. Okay, so this was taken right outside, and I took that photo with my mom and sister. I was the designated photographer. That's why I was not in a lot of the photos. Now, this I can talk about. I love Vietnamese food. They call this pho, Pho. So it's basically noodles with beef and beef broth. Last year, when I went to Vietnam, in one sitting for dinner, I can eat two big bowls of pho, no problem. But on this day, I went for the large bowl so I don't have to order two. I was very, very happy at this day because after around 3 hours of shopping, this is what I deserved. This has to be the second day where my family and I visited an orphanage in which there was a temple inside. An orphanage is a place where children without any parents stay. So we went there to visit in light of Easter to try to give back to the society. What we did was kind of like a voluntary work. So we met the kids. I couldn't take any photos because we're not allowed, but that's what we did over here. These are my Vietnamese friends who I met last year when I went to Vietnam for a voluntary work. I promised to them that I will go back, and I really did. And so we met up. They stayed over at my place there for about 2 nights, and we just chit chatted and chit chatted and chit chatted. It's nice to have friends from different cultures because you get to find out more a lot about the world and about their problems and how you can learn from them. This is a new photo for me and something to talk about. My mom doesn't know that I went on a motorcycle. Now, in Vietnam, the mode of transportation is the motorcycle. They don't have trains, they only have motorcycles. And say in Vietnam, there are about 8 million. You can imagine that there are about 8 million motorcycles as well. It's very chaotic. But that's the first time I got to ride on a motorcycle. And now let's talk about Miss Hill's Easter holiday.
Thanks for sharing, Miss Celine.
Thank
Sounds
you.
like a really fun holiday.
What?
So, for my Easter holiday, I went somewhere a little less relaxing. I went to India and I had a chance to try the different clothing and the different food and visit some cities around India. India is a very big country. So, we had a chance to visit different castles, different historical buildings, and explore. Some of them are very beautiful inside, and I wish I could have spent more time there walking around. This is also a great spot for taking Instagram photos. I also visited the Taj Mahal. Maybe you've seen a photo of this before. This is a very famous building that's over 400 years old, and many people from around the world come here to take their photo. There are so many tourists behind me, but can you guess what time I am there? I got there for sunrise. We waited at the beginning of the line, and it was still very, very crowded when we got inside. I also tried many different delicious Indian foods. Indian foods are very spicy and very oily, so it was difficult to get adjusted to this type of food. But after 1 week, I really enjoyed eating it. What I'm holding here is called a dosa, which is a big fried pancake almost that has spicy potatoes inside. And you dip it in the different sauces. Very
Looks
delicious.
very yummy.
Yes. I also had a chance to try different cooking classes where I learned how to make different Indian foods. Now, what you see here is called a spice box, where they use lots of different spices in their dinner and in their lunches. One Indian family would use all of the spice that you see in that box in 1 week. So as you can see, they use lots of different flavors in their cooking. This is one of the cities I visited. It was called Jaipur, and it's known as the Pink City. So lots of the buildings and surroundings are this pink-red color, which is beautiful for taking photos. We also went to very small villages where they had never seen any foreign people before, any people from other countries around the world. So they were very excited to meet us, and as you can see, these boys were following us around. At the end of our trip there, they sang some songs for us, and we sang some songs for them too. This is inside another castle. This is actually called the Stepwell because there are many steps and staircases here, which is beautiful for taking photos. And finally, this was my most favorite snack. I ate probably one of these at least every day, and this is called samosa, and it's a crunchy outside and a soft inside with different vegetables, like potatoes and peas. We also learned how to make these ourselves. So I had a very great holiday. I'm happy I got to see a new country and a new culture, and I'm happy, even though I didn't get to relax very much, that I did something new and different. So let's talk about what's happening next month at KCC.
So, as you know, we're going to be having an English Culture Club party. That will be held this month at the end on the 31st of May after school. It'll be held at the Home Economics Room. For your information, that's the cooking room. That will be in 112B. I repeat, we will have an English Culture Club party on the 31st of May after school at the cooking room at 112B.
This is your last chance to earn some stamps and also to say goodbye to me, Ms. Hill. So we will have some games and some snacks and really just have a party to say farewell and to wish you well on your exams. So I hope to see everyone there. Even if you didn't come to any other activities, you are still welcome to come to this party.
Like what Miss Hill said, it will be like one of the very last times for you to collect stamps. As you know, the examinations will be next month, so please do come, especially if your activity cards are still empty of stamps.
Just to share some pictures from our other activities. So before Easter, we did an Easter egg hunt. And thank you to everyone who came and joined this activity. So students had to find different Easter eggs that we hid around the school. And the team that found the most eggs and found the most clues for their worksheet got a big prize. Now the prize was, of course, some Easter chocolate, which is usually what we give to each other on Easter holiday. And the winning team was actually a team from Form 1. So congratulations for joining the activity and winning. Are these
Hello,
your
my
students, Miss Celine?
Yeah,
Well
so
done.
proud of them.
We also finished our tie-dye activity. Now, tie-dye is something we do in Canada when we are in primary school. It's a very popular activity for the summer or for summer camp, and we do it outside. So basically, we take different colors and we dye some fabric. Dye means not to kill someone or die, but it means to change the color. We didn't make t-shirts at KCC, but we did make some beautiful designs. I'd like to show you a video about how you can do this yourself. So all you need is some water, some colors, and whatever you want to dye. Okay, so that's how you do tie-dye. If you'd like to find out more information about this really cool activity, please talk to me. Also, here's some photos from the activity. So students had to wear garbage bags, rubbish bags, because we did not want their school uniforms to get any color on them. Otherwise, it would not wash out. So they had a lot of fun making their different designs. We let them dry and we washed them out and we left them there for the weekend. And students can now pick them up. So if you've picked up your design, that's fantastic. If you have not picked up your design, please come find me today at recess or just go into the cooking room and take your creation.
Okay, so earlier I asked you guys like what was happening next month. And yay, you're going to be having the exams. And so for your information, these are some useful information for you to prepare for them. There are 3 parts for you to do that. So the first one, the pre-exam tips before the exam. Number 1, go and check with your teacher the topics that are covered for the exam. There are some of you that still don't know what will be in the exam, so do that. Another information from Ms. Hill, you can do that and find that out from the school website. I repeat, you can also find that out from the school website. Number 2, find out which parts you are most weak at. Then, after that, you can ask your teachers for help. Say, for example, in mathematics, you're very weak at triangles. So go ahead and ask your teacher how to find out the sum of that triangle. Number 3, go ahead and design a timetable for your revision. Sometimes there are some parts that you really do need more practice in, so go ahead and spend more time on that subject. Go ahead and balance out your time. Now, during the exam, we are still going to be having quizzes, so these tips are probably going to be helpful too. Number 1, this is also what I always tell my students. Always read the instructions carefully. Now, why should you do that? Just because you did not follow the instructions, you can lose a lot of marks. For example, the instructions ask you to underline, but you put a circle. Some teachers will not let you go through with that one. Okay? Number 2, keep watch on the time that you have left, because if you don't, you won't have time to check your answers, which is related to number 3. So always do that when you have the exam. And post-exam tips. Know that you've done your best, and of course, you also deserve to relax after you've finished all your exams. Now, these post-exam tips are only going to be valid after the exam. So please do your best to really, really try to do well. And yes, today is Wednesday, and so we will be having the talking tree. Now, we had the talking tree on the 10th and 17th of April, where Form 3 students practice individual presentation and group interaction before the TSA exam. Sure. So there was an individual presentation in which the topics were Forrest Gump as well as online shopping. Also, there were group interactions in which the topics were school website as well as Korean culture. Now today, we will be having the spelling bee. Today's date is 8th of May, Wednesday, and the time for spelling bee will be from the 12:45 to 1:10 p.m. at the covered playground. The theme for today is Hong Kong Society. We will be reading aloud authentic English texts. You will be learning English vocabulary with the help of our English ambassadors. The following are some theme-based vocabulary for playing the matching game. The theme that we have for today is Hong Kong Society. The homeless. This is the homeless. Next, wealth gap. Wealth gap. And finally, fundraising activities. These are activities to raise money. I repeat, fundraising activities. So we hope to see all of you later at the Spelling Bee at the covered playground at 12:45 p.m. Don't forget to bring your stamp card. That's all that we have for today. We hope you have a good day, KCC. Goodbye.
Bye.